this is going to be a video, as you can probably tell from the title, that will be about Mercury Retrograde. And this is the first video that I have done since I have shifted kind of perspectives and priorities in my business and how I work and the kind of videos that I put out. So I hope that you really like this video. There is an accompanying I can't say that word right, but there's a blog post that comes with this that I will link below, and I'm also going to embed this video in the blog post, so that way you don't have to worry about not being able to read it or see it or whatever. So Mercury retrograde is literally on our doorstep. It is knocking. It starts April 9th, and it is a very I always love when Mercury retrograde comes because there's this one meme that goes around the internet, and it says Mercury retrograde, and it says time to grab some crystals, and it's this like little woman in this huge bag, and she's like dragging it behind her, and it's like that for me marks the official start of Mercury retrograde, and it makes me laugh, which is really funny and really great because it's great to laugh during Mercury retrograde. So this video, I'm going to talk to you about what's in the blog post. I'm pretty much going to read the blog post and sum it up, and I'm going to tell you something about really cool that I have, and then I'm going to be doing a reading for Mercury retrograde. A short reading with the angel tarot cards. They decided they wanted to be used today, and so I said, okay, I got you, I'll use you. So this, even though like I laugh at this time, there's always this kind of energy around Mercury retrograde because we always just like, what is Mercury going to fuck up for me this time? Like, what is it really going to do? And especially people that don't understand it, but even sometimes people that do understand it, we're all just like, oh God, like, can this time just like not happen? But really, it's time to and if you've watched any of Doreen Virtue's weekly readings before Mercury retrograde, she always talks about this, and it's something that I've really, I've kind of grown accustomed to hearing her talk about before Mercury retrograde happens. And this is really a time to slow down, and it's really a time to relax. Mercury retrograde and I have had a really interesting experience because I have had some of my most profound, like, just mind-blowing guidance and mind-blowing experiences during Mercury retrograde, because I really see it as a time to go inside of yourself. And I do kind of use some darker decks during Mercury retrograde. And since I'm saying Mercury retrograde so much during this video, I'm probably going to butcher it at one point or another. I don't know why. I think it's just going to happen. This past Mercury retrograde, I did not use any like crazy dark decks or anything like that. But I survived it pretty well. And that's kind of what this video is about. It's kind of like survival tips. It's like your survival guide for how to survive Mercury retrograde. So, or at least making the best of it. Because, sometimes you come out a little battered and bruised, but you would make it through. So there's 9 steps. There's not 9 steps, but 9 things that I do during Mercury retrograde. So I never sign major documents during Mercury retrograde. I never make big purchases. So if there is a course you are wanting to purchase, if there is any big purchases, then it's better not to do this during Mercury retrograde. This is a really kind of a big thing that's known because Mercury affects communication. So Mercury is the communication planet. And so for those of you that aren't quite familiar with Mercury retrograde, I'll explain that a little bit before I go any further. Mercury retrograde is when the planet Mercury seems to be going backwards. It does not actually go backwards, but it just appears to be going backwards. And since Mercury is the planet of communication, it kind of messes with the energy of communication a little bit. So you can send something in an email or a text message and someone misinterprets it, or you say something in passing and someone's like, wait, what do you mean by that? And it kind of causes like a mass confusion, I guess you could say. So that's really kind of what the energy of Mercury retrograde is. It does affect, it can affect electronics, but we'll get to that later. So, like I said, you never sign major documents during Mercury retrograde. And if you're familiar with Mercury retrograde, then you've heard this before. And the reason for this is because Mercury can cause slight communication errors. And in signing major things like a lease or like a car loan, but it's kind of, you may kind of be in the energy of, okay, this seems fine to do, but then later on you may have been like, oh, I could have gotten a better deal, or I could have done this, or there was this like sale event, or there was a discount or something like that wasn't mentioned. So you can do it, but just know that you might get some upsetting news about maybe money you could have saved, or maybe a term of the loan that you didn't know about. So I do have actually experience with this because I had to renew my lease during Mercury retrograde. And the period that I could renew my lease actually was like the day before Mercury retrograde ended. And I was like, damn it. I was like, I really don't want to do this. But since Mercury has that so the retrograde RE at the beginning of it, it's really a good time to relax, to revamp, but also to reevaluate. So I was like, and renew. So I was like, I guess since I'm renewing it, it's fine. And I really just kind of put as much good energy into it as I could. And I just asked my angels, I was like, can you please like just make this not be bad? And it worked out fine. I didn't have any hiccups or anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of the kind of how I feel about documents and that kind of thing during Mercury retrograde. Just be very, very careful. If you absolutely have to, bring all your angels, your guides, bring everything into it, and just kind of make sure that you are understanding everything. Take extra time when you're signing something or making a big purchase. I know a lot of times things just happen during Mercury retrograde, and it's just, things happen all the time, but especially during this period, just be careful. Mercury retrograde actually helped me. Quick story, and then I'll get back to my my points. But there was this this woman that I used to know in North Carolina, and she was wanting me to sign up to do this, like, basically it's a pyramid scheme. But I didn't know it was a pyramid scheme. And we're like, you do this, you buy this, and then you get 4 people, and then they get 4 people, and all this kind of stuff. And it just, and I'm not going to say the name of the company because I don't want to offend anybody. But I actually was like, I'm not going to sign anything. I'm not going to make any commitments during Mercury retrograde. And then later found out that it was a pyramid scheme, and that I would have kind of gotten all my money wrapped up into it, and it wouldn't have been very good. So that's kind of how Mercury can save you. So that's that. So, and my cat wants to be a part of this video. So the second thing is I always try to slow down my thought process, which can be a bitch because I have ADD and it has me going a million miles a minute. So I can literally be thinking of, oh, what am I going to have for breakfast? I really, really like Disney movies, but I wonder why do they call it a bookshelf? You know what I mean? Like just random, like, or how the word bookshelf came about or whatever. Like, I don't even know. And so it's just random stuff that happens in my mind. So I really try to slow down my thought process, and I try to slow down. I love you. I try to slow down and only talk after I have kind of thought about what I'm going to say, and like, how can this be misinterpreted, and that kind of thing. I'm not saying I do it all the time, but it's definitely an intention that I set beforehand, right, to get it done. So, and because of misunderstandings kind of going crazy during this time, it's really important that you are making sure you're working with your throat chakra. So this is called the Vishuddha, or Vishuddha, whichever one, it doesn't matter, chakra. And it's like right here, obviously, in your throat. So making sure you keep it balanced. And the way you do this is you can literally just carry a piece of lapis in your pocket. Lapis lazuli is a blue stone. You can carry that in your pocket. You can literally visualize white light, a ton of white light right here in this area, because the throat chakra is blue. So it's a blue light right here. So if you just imagine white light coming in and clearing the blue light, you can do that. Or it's just simply as easy as saying, I set the intention to have my throat chakra cleared, and then it's cleared. It's done. So communication comes from here. So making sure it's balanced is really necessary when you are trying to have meaningful and clear communication, especially during Mercury retrograde. So the third thing, I have already been experiencing this before Mercury retrograde, and I'm just like, help me God, because I'm setting the best intention possible, but as soon as it happened, I was like, it's not even Mercury retrograde yet. Be patient with technology, because it'll fuck up your computer, it'll fuck up your phone, anything that you use as technology. So make sure, and this is just super easy, just make sure that you back up your phone if you have a smart device, back up your tablets, computers, everything. If you have Apple products, back them up to the cloud, back them up to whatever you can back them up to. Then that's pretty much just it. It's better to be safe than sorry when Mercury retrograde comes to play. So the fourth thing that I do, and some of these things I do all the time, and this is one of them, is I just carry a lot of crystals. Like, I carry crystals during Mercury retrograde. I carry crystals all the time, but especially during this crazy time. So smoky quartz is my best friend during Mercury retrograde. I love smoky quartz. You can't tell me anything about smoky quartz. It's my best friend every day. I love smoky quartz. I actually, hindsight, should have brought my smoky quartz piece over here, but I did not. So, but basically, I love smoky quartz because it actually absorbs negative energy from the situations and even from your own aura. So basically, it kind of gets all of it and takes it from you. And so I carry, I have little pieces and I have a big piece, and I will probably put the little pieces and a big piece in the bag and set the intention, which is really important. So crystals by themselves don't really do anything; they're just pretty rocks. But you have to make sure you set an intention first before you carry them, because I can carry tarot cards and never use them. You know what I mean? So I set the intention when I carry my crystal, and that's pretty much all I do. I just say, smoky quartz, help me with this. And I put it in my pocket and I go about my day. And if I need help, I put my hand in my pocket and I rub my smoky quartz, and that's how we do it. So, but the thing is, if you don't have smoky quartz, like if you don't have any crystals and you're like, oh my God, I don't have any crystals, but I really want to carry something during Mercury retrograde, you can actually work with the energy of the crystal without actually having it. So what you do is you can find a picture of smoky quartz online, or you can go to a crystal shop and look at some smoky quartz and really get a picture of it in your mind and just kind of bring the energy of smoky quartz. You can ask the energy of smoky quartz to come in and help you. That's what you can do. You don't have to go out and buy tons of crystals if you don't have them. You can work with them that way, and it is just as effective. So that's one thing that I really, really like about that. So like I said, you'll still notice the same effects, pinky promise. So I really, I'm probably going to carry lapis too, just because of my throat chakra, to make sure that I'm speaking from my truth and to make sure that I'm speaking clearly. So this last thing is not this last thing, sorry, thing number 5. I don't know why I said this last thing. We have a little bit to go, so thanks for hanging out with me. Thing number 5, thing 1, thing 2, is space and energy clearing. When I tell you I saged the hell out of my house yesterday, get it saged the hell out of my house. And I literally smelled like sage, and to me sage smells like weed, and I don't like the smell of it, but I did it anyway, and I just saged everything. Like, I was just, even after I was done, I was just walking around anyway, just getting rid of the negative energy, and there's such a big difference in the energy and the feel of my house today, and I really, really like it a lot. So this is, I always do this anyway. In different ways. You can use sprays, sage spray or Palo Santo spray, or anything you want to clear your house. You can use incense. You can just imagine white light coming from your hands and just clearing the house. You can ask Archangel Michael to be in your house. I'm going to do a video about space clearing soon. So just make sure your home is cleared. make sure your energy is cleared. You know, and how you clear your energy, imagine white light all over you. Asking Archangel Michael to stand by you. He can be with everybody, anytime, doesn't matter. He can be with me right now. He's with you right now. He can be with everybody in this planet simultaneously. So ask him to be with you. Ask him to keep away lower energies. And that really, really works. And he can also be in your house. So he can literally leave your house with you and stay in your house. How cool is that? So when our energy is cleared, the energy flows easier around you, and it can actually help other people who don't even know that their energy needs clearing. So my energy being right can help somebody else, right? Not in the sense that they feed off of my energy, but they can feel that my energy is different. And, you know, I can send love and light to them if I feel like that it needs to happen. So, like I said, Paige, Palo Santo wood. I love Palo Santo wood. I can never get it to stay burnt, though, to never stay smoking. Angels, or you can just use your intention and say, I intend for this area to be clear. I like doing something as I do it because I feel like it adds a little extra oomph to it. But if you don't have the resources that to do that, then you can just say, I ask for this to be clear, because white light doesn't cost anything. You know, it doesn't cost anything. You can just imagine white light. Make sure you're in a positive space, though, when you're clearing the house. Make sure you're not walking around the house like, I hate this fucking house, clearing this, I hate this fucking house, clearing this. Like, that's just not going to work out. But like I said, more on space clearing another time. The next thing I do is I always carry oracle cards during Mercury retrograde. This last time I carried Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light oracle because I love it a lot. And the reason why is because if I want or I need encouragement, I have a tool that I can draw from that will give me that. I do have apps on my phone. I have a shit ton of apps on my phone for oracle cards and tarot cards, but I like having tangible cards that I carry with me sometimes too. So, like I said, I use those. You can use those. You don't have to use those. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use oracle cards, but that's something that I like to do, because if I'm feeling the energy of it really heavily, I can just say, okay, I need a message, and they're always spot on. So thing number 7 is to pray or meditate. Just ask for help. You know, if you feel the energy is getting to you, just say, okay, I need help with this. And the universe will help you. The universe will send guides to you and send angels to you to make sure that you are helped. And that's pretty much it for that. So the 8th thing, there are 2 more things. Thing number 8 is self-care. So take a bubble bath, have a glass of wine, read a book, play with your pet. Don't do anything that doesn't light you up, unless it's like you have to go to work if that doesn't light you up. But you know, take a walk in nature, because self-care is a huge thing in navigating Mercury retrograde. When you take care of yourself, everything around you just seems to be easier, and you open up to more intuitive guidance, and that's really crucial to getting through Mercury retrograde. So the last thing is to set your intention. Your thoughts create your reality. That's a fact. Metaphysics 101, Law of Attraction, Course in Miracles, everything boils down to your thoughts create your reality. So if you're walking into Mercury retrograde and you're saying this is going to be some shit, I don't want Mercury retrograde to happen, I hate Mercury retrograde, then guess what? It's going to be the worst Mercury retrograde ever. Your computer's going to blow up, like everything's going to happen. It's just going to, that's how it is. So you will, if you go into this with a negative attitude, you're going to experience things that keep you in that negative space. So this is a high-powered time of self-fulfilling prophecies. So these can be positive or negative. So make sure you set the intention to learn and grow through this. And that's a really big thing for this. So all in all, and this is from my blog, and I really love this. All in all, Mercury retrograde isn't some cosmic conspiracy to fuck up your whole life for a month. Consider it, or a little less than a month, give or take. Consider it a gift from the universe, giving you the tools and time that you need to really take care of yourself and reevaluate what you need to fix and let go of. If you really want to check in with a reading to find out if what the theme is of Mercury retrograde for you, I actually have just put one on here, and I'll probably keep it on there through Mercury retrograde. But I literally have a Mercury retrograde spread that I made like 6-7 months ago, and I'm making it available as a reading. And it's a 10 card spread, and it's like $20, and you get what you need to let go of. You get basically your Mercury retrograde theme. So that is going to be available right now as you're watching this. So I'm super excited for that. I actually wasn't even starting this with the intention of having a Mercury retrograde reading, and then I just saw it in my documents on my computer, and I was just like, oh yeah, and divine guidance kicked in and was like, yeah. So I figured I would just do that for you guys. So that's that. But I am going to give you guys a quick 3-card reading just to kind of see what the energy of Mercury retrograde is going to be and what the collective energy will be for all of us. And like I said, if you want this on an individual basis, the reading will be available. It's available right now. So I will definitely get that done for you. Mercury retrograde. Card 1, card 2. Nope. Card 3. Wow, can't make this stuff up. So you have the 2 of air, you have release, and you have the 10 of fire. So the 2 of air is you have to kind of walk into Mercury retrograde able to make the decision of what you're going to experience. You can either walk into this from a place of your higher self, or you can walk into it from a place of your ego. That is up to you. But there is a really big energy around releasing and change and transition during this Mercury retrograde. And this is, once again, this is spiritual transformation. So be ready to be transformed during this Mercury retrograde, because that's the energy, the collective energy of this. So the 10 of fire is asking for help. The 10 of fire is, things may get a little heavy. That's okay. We're ready for it. But just make sure you ask for help from your guides, from your angels, or even help here in the physical world if you need it, if you are overstressed. So I really hope that this served you. I hope that you liked this. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below. And like I said, if you want to check out the blog post, I've linked it below. The reading is available on my site. If you just go to tarotangel444.com, the link is below, and just click readings at the top, and it is right there at the top. I will be seeing you guys very, very soon. Angel blessings, love and light, and I am just super excited to be experiencing this Mercury retrograde with you. Let me know some of your fears too in the comments below, like oh my God, like some crazy experiences you've had with Mercury retrograde. And how you navigated. You can also leave comments on my blog post too. I always love that. So I will be seeing you guys soon. Love and light. Bye.